Hey everybody, it is the Xander the Vinyl Junkie here on, today this is actually, I'm going to go ahead and showcase my October vinyl haul. How this normally works is I will go ahead and show you guys what I picked up for the month of October, vinyl wise, and show you what's growing in my collection and so being. Anyway, so with that being said, here we go. So I actually had the first one over here, but the first one I picked up here was actually Self-Control by Laura Branigan. I actually got this for free at Off the Record. It was actually going to cost me about $1 to pay for this, and I'm not really a big fan of Branigan's earlier stuff. I didn't really like the song Gloria. Actually, I never really cared for that song. Anyway, Self-Control though is actually a really good song, and I actually had got this as a digital download. Actually, picked this up as a digital download, and got this for free because they had rang up my purchase, and I forgot to charge this, and he was just like, you know, we're not going to get rid of it. So, cheers, take it. So anyways, this actually ends up from one of my 80s collection. I'm not really a big fan of 80s pop music, but I did like Self-Control, especially when it was featured on the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack. So if you've never heard Self-Control, check it out on YouTube. Great song. Next album I picked up is Too Bad Jim by R.L. Burnside. This was actually part of my review I did for Vinyl Me Please, which that video will be up pretty soon. I'm actually re-recording it. This is a very great album, blues-wise. I didn't have much blues in my collection, and so getting this album was a breath of fresh air to finally be able to add this to my vinyl album to my collection. Sorry, I mean a blues album to my collection, because I was been looking for some Muddy Waters and John Lee Hooker or B.B. King, and I wasn't able to find them because a lot of people don't sell the blues albums, or you're not going to be able to find them in a lot, or maybe get a decent price on them because they're over expensive. But if you haven't checked this album out, highly suggest it. And if you've never checked out Vinyl Me Please, check them out, vinylmeplease.com. Great subscription service, especially for subscription boxes and whatnot. Definitely worth it. So next album I picked up was The Doors' Greatest Hits. I paid about $20 for this. A little pricey, I know, but I didn't have this. I've actually been wanting to buy the rest of their albums. But I actually got this from a new record store up in Ellensburg. And I didn't know that there was one. Because originally there was a store called Rodeo Records, which was owned by Mark Pickrell of Screaming Trees. And he actually closed it a few years back. But there was actually a new store in his place that sells vinyl and vintage clothing and whatnot. And I paid a little more for this album than I should have paid for. But it's actually a pretty cool store in there. And they got so much stuff that they haven't gone through that I haven't taken care of. So anyways, finally got some Doors in my collection. I want to get their self-title, especially Morrison Hotel, because I love the song Peace Frog, and it's not on here, sadly. So, anyways, next album, Pearl Jam's Versus. This is actually the 1993 release. And of course, Vinyl Cat just made an appearance here. She's going to go ahead and hang out with us. This is, I was surprised to find this, and I paid $10 for this, but this is the 93 pressing, and these actually go for about $50 to $60 online. I was able to snag it for $10. I don't think they knew what they purchased off the guy, and I don't think the guy who sold it knew how much this album was really worth. But so anyways, I finally got Versus. It's not the re-release, it's actually the original pressing. The next album, on the other hand, is very rare, and it's by Neural by Pearl Jam. This album is out of print, and this is the original 2000 pressing, and it goes for over $500 used. If you can find a sealed copy, it's worth even more. And the crazy story about this, when I actually put this on my Instagram account, I had 3 people contacting me offering me to buy it. And I'll tell you this right now, the only way I'm going to sell this album is if you offer me a Canon 5D Mark III with a L series lens. That's the only way I would ever sell any of my rare albums. But yeah, I was very shocked to get this for $10. So I finally got some hip hop in my collection this month, and first one is actually 2 of the same artists, and it's Stankonia by Outkast. It's another album I grew up listening to when I was in high school. So senior of high school, listened to this album constantly. My cousin Kate always had this on play, so I heard Miss Jackson quite a bit. But Rolling Stone considered this one of the greatest albums of all time. I actually agree with them. And I was actually fortunate to see Outcast at Sasquatch this year when I was covering it. So it was one of the bands I loved checking out, to say the least. I got this for about $12 on Amazon used, so I got a good deal on it because this album actually goes for over 20, so really cool getting that one. And of course I got another Outkast album. This one I actually bought brand new on Amazon for $13, but it's Aquemini. This was also featured on Rolling Stone's Greatest Hits, Greatest Albums of All Time list. This is another one I also grew up listening to in high school. I loved Rosa Parks. This whole album is just great. So, yeah. Haven't heard any of Outkast's albums. I definitely would check out this one, Stankonia and Atlians, just to kind of get a feel for them. And then if you want to check out the other stuff like Speakerbox, Love Below, which is a good album, but it's not really my type. It's not as great as Aquemini or Stankonia, to say the least. And lastly, I was able to pick up a copy of one of my favorite albums of all time, and that's Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory. This album is going for over $30, and I got it for about $13 because it was an open copy that Amazon was selling from their warehouse. It was actually a warehouse deal, so I got free shipping because I have Amazon Prime. So I got this for $13, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I have worn 3 copies of this CD out, but finally listening to it on vinyl, wow, just blew me away. It's just crazy go nuts, I tell you. If you're not familiar with this album and you grew up in the 90s, where the hell have you been? Some of my favorite songs on here, Don't Look Back in Anger, She's Electric's a great one, but I'd say my favorite song in here, some might say, that this is considered one of the greatest influential albums of the 90s. Definitely, if you're a big fan of 90s music, alternative rock, check this out. Make sure you give this a look here. This is worth bringing on here, you know. And yeah, so anyways, that about does it for this month's haul. If you guys like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's the same address, links right there. Be sure to follow Seattle Music Insider on Instagram and Twitter. It's C Music Insider. There's the address right there. We're also on Facebook. So look up Seattle Music Insider SMI. Follow us there. We're almost to 4,000 fans. So if you guys can help us out there and get us up to 4,000, that'd be great. So with that being said, on behalf of me and the Vinyl Kitty here, Karma, actually got my hand pawn here. Yeah, right, little girl. See you guys later.